Hey guys, this is Still Had All These, and I'm playing in the UnHeroic tournament that CMN Reborn is running, and I just got issued my challenge, so here's round one, let's see how it goes. Just making sure this is the list I submitted. Alright, so yeah, I'm playing a Tarsus deck, and playing a Tarsus on turn 1, getting it leveled seems very good, just in general. I might have some interesting lines to make for next turn, but we'll see what my opponent does. The thing I really like about this deck is all of the cards you play are just extremely effective in the late game. Like, Tarsus pretty much has a similar, ability to a Savant, but just way better. So, the way you look at it is, if you play, say you play a level 1, Fellwalker or something, when you have a level 3 Tarsus, sure, it's a 3/3 when it starts, but then the next one you get is a 9/9. It's just incredibly powerful in effect, and the body, it's a good body at all levels. It's not great, but it's definitely on the better end. Alright, so my opponent's playing some sort of annoying road. War charges are always exciting. So the option of going Tarsus Etherhounds, or Spring Dryad Etherhounds, or Spring Dryad Tarsus. I really like getting Spring Dryad leveled because it's very hard for anyone to deal with it, and I also can just leave the Matrix Warden unblocked because there's nothing I can do about it, and I kind of want to throw. I also want to ideally draw an Etherhounds next turn and have it deal with the War Charger. That's probably what I'm looking at. So I've seen about one of every creature in my deck now. So except for the 2 Tarsuses. So this is an interesting decision. I don't want to put anything in front of the Matrix Warden because if he just plays another Matrix Warden and pumps it, or General and pumps it, that's definitely not good for me. And if he's playing something like Nexus Pilot, which I don't know if this list would run or not, I put Spring Dryad in the center. It'll be a 4/4 this turn, and I can make it a 7/7 next turn more than likely, which will trade evenly. It's that exciting to trade, but it's better than anything else, any other option I have in the deck. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to be taking time this turn. What I'm going to say about it. Just get my good creatures level. That's what I like to do for. Alright, so I have Etherhounds to take out both the guys, and I have a Darkshaper Savant, which I kind of want to actively get leveled. Especially if he's playing Light Shield Patrols, which he probably is. Darkshaper Savant's a great way to deal with that. And draft things usually just come automatic to me, but I really have to take a lot of thought for playing this deck. There's a lot going on. A lot you want to try and make sure you've leveled moving forward, but you also need to make sure you're alive to let your strong cards take advantage in the later levels. That War Charger Matrix Warden play was huge. It was incredibly good for him. Being able to deal with a Tarsus on the first turn. Very powerful. Alright, so yeah, that Larker is going to deal with the Dryad, that's fine. And he did, but I'm gonna have a nice big Ether Hound, which is pretty nice. Judging by his deck, I think I would rather have the Ether Hounds take damage, because it's gonna be a 5 power guy. Actually, 5 power guy will survive a War Charger. You'd need another Venom thing to be able to deal with. Yeah, I like having... He doesn't have anything that'll deal 2 damage in this deck, so I'd much rather have this Ether Hound live with 2 health than a Dark Shaper Savant with 3. The Savant will just die to a War Charger, whereas it'll trade in this situation. Oh, and I get to level all 3 Tarsuses. That's pretty exciting moving forward. Having Tarsus level just feels so broken for this deck, because now it doesn't matter that I played only 1 Ether Hounds. Like, if I play like a Death Seeker in front of a guy or a Fellwalker in front of a guy, triggering my Savant and then bringing back, like, I don't know, it would be a 5/5 or a 3/3, but now it's going to be, what, 7/7s, 9/9s, just very strong creatures. Okay, so the Forge Plate's going to trade, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to happen here. And I think we're going to level a Grove Matriarch, because I kind of want to stay away from playing guys that are going to be good for my Savant to be under level. And this is going to put in a token on the next turn. So as long as this Tarsus can survive this turn, it'll get bigger. And if I draw level 2 Tarsus, that 1/1 token that's going to be made is going to be huge. So I really like that idea. And I'm going to play Tarsus in the center because I'm feeling there's a good chance that that Savant is going to be dying. If I play Grove Matriarch, I would really like to have 2. Actually, yeah, because the Ether Hound is going to die, but my Grove Matriarch is going to leave a token even if he pumps his guy this turn. And if he does pump his guy with, say, I don't know, a General or a Matrix Warden, then I'll still have the 3/3 token from having a Tarsus, so that it will kill the Forge Blade Sentry. So it looks pretty good from there. So as long as I can get value out of my Bright Test Sower, it'll be very good, because it'll be like 2 5/5, well, a 4/5 and a 5/5 from this level 2 Tarsus. And I'll have a level 3 Tarsus in my deck, which I can never complain about. Just always good. So he is playing Nexus Pilot, we found out, but it makes the play kind of worse to play it in the center, but it will give me an available lane to play my Bright Test Sower, so that's fine. It's good information to know now that he is playing Nexus Pilot. I can try and screw with his lanes for the future. Put a high pressure creature in lane 3 so that he has to deal with it, something that Nexus Pilot will either trade with or won't even trade with. Even though it'll probably be pretty hard for me to get a 12 power guy or a 14 power guy in that lane at this early of a level. So yes, my Savant is living, which is wonderful. I get to play this Tarsus, so that I'm going to have 2 5/5 tokens in this 4/5, and a 4/1 that's still alive. So play Tarsus before battle just to make sure that I get my trigger off for this Matriarch. And I'm going to put the 4/5 in front of the Nexus Pilot, because I'd much rather have the 5/5 sequence. And now this is going to be a pretty difficult board state for him to deal with. Well, whiffing on level 2 isn't exactly what I wanted to do here, but it's not the end of the world, considering I have this Tarsus that I should be able to get value out of an Ether Hounds with, depending on what he blocks with where. That level 3 Forge Plate is really, really good in this matchup, and I have seen my 2 Vengeful Spirits in my deck already, which can help mitigate Forge Plate damage, but at this point I might be having like Rogue Matriarch or Death Seeker chumps on the Forge Plate, which would be good for me, and he blanked out on drawing an answer to the Tarsus this turn, which is extremely good for me. So I can go Spring Dryad Ether Hounds, which sounds pretty exciting. This Forge Plate's going to take 2 damage, putting it to 7 health, meaning that nothing I put in front of it will kill it. I kind of want to get value out of this Tarsus. ASAP. Spring Dryad, it growing, it's not going to get that big, but he does, in theory, have to deal with the Tarsus, and he'll have to deal with the other token that's coming into play from my Ether Hounds, which will be a 7/7, which, I mean, another Forge Plate, he does have 2 level 2 Venom Thing can go a long way in dealing with these cards. Like, it'll just trade with the Tarsus. This is another rather difficult decision. I feel like it might not be a great time for the Spring Dryad. I have the level 2 in my deck, but I'm gonna go ahead and battle because nothing's changing. Can't do anything else. There's no way for me to get the current board. I have an option of putting like a 5/5 token in front of it, 7/7 Ether Hound. None of these seem particularly great. Put the Grove Matriarch in front of it. And I think Bright Test Sower is just a better card. I'm going to put Bright Test Sower here, and I'm going to put the buffed Ether Hound because I don't have creatures that will just straight up deal with that. I need to get like a Tarsus, another Tarsus, and another creature. Oh, actually I have the level 2 Ether Hounds. That doesn't make sense. So that's probably a misplay. But he's not dealing with the Tarsus unless he's also playing another spell, which would be stupid. Unless he's playing a spell. Oh, well, I guess Matrix would be good too. That's fair. Matrix one's good. So at least it's going to trade here. I get to put a guy in front of here that's going to live, which sounds really good to me. And I'm going to level up the Ether and have the lane still full and have him have a lot to deal with. I drew a Savant, so I'll have a level 3 Savant going into the next level, which is nice. And I can even trigger it with a level 2 Savant. Or a level 1 Savant. So depending on what he does. I'm banking on him missing on Forge Plate in the next 2 turns, because if he has 2 level 3 Forge Plates, they go a long way in just crushing every card in my deck. They can just sit there and it's very hard for me to deal with them. The question is, do I want to try it? I can just straight up kill the Venom Fang, but it makes me want to ignore the Forge Guardian. But I can just trigger off Corpse Crawler, getting rid of the Sapling that's not even attacking this turn. Which might be the right line to play here, because it's probably most likely just going to get beat by a guy with armor. Him having a Forge Guardian here is extremely frustrating for me, but leveling this Savant's really important. This will kill the beta, no risk of pump messing anything up. Do a level 2 Spring Dryad and level 3 Rogue Matriarch. So I'm just banking on him missing his 2 big level 3s in level 3. This is the game plan. His deck's very strong. Trying to see how many level 2s he played on your deck, remember. There's 1 Forge Plate Sentry. Bunch of level 1s. A level 2 Venom Thing, so he's got a level 3 Venom Thing in his deck. And he's got a level 3 Data in his deck. He's got both his Forge Plates, which is not good for me by any stretch of the imagination. hopefully he misses that next pilot, which he did. That's great. So he's gonna pump his Matrix Sword and kill my other hand, which is fine. Of course, probably gonna trade. I'm gonna have to deal with this Forge mid-century. But I'm gonna have a Grove Matriarch that he can't pump to make big enough. Well, then I should play my Spring Drive also. He doesn't have a level 3 Matrix Sword, and that'll pump this Forge Plate to be big enough. So that's good. That's exciting. Missing on Tarsus for the first 2 turns isn't good, but so far we look to be in decent shape. It's if he draws a beta or a level 3 Forge Plate that we kind of just go into panic mode, trying to deal with it. Because none of our guys are particularly big on their own, and he can just eat the Spring Dryad. Well, that is on my turn. It's going to be, what, most likely a 14, or, yeah, 14-14 from 3 triggers of +2/+2, because I'll probably play Sour and something else. I hope I don't have 4 lanes open that I can play Sour after now, or Sour. The level 2 Matrix Sword and kill the Savant's fine, but I don't particularly want to trigger the Savant anymore, and I could consider ignoring it to making the Nexus Pilot really bad. However, it's a level 2 Nexus Pilot and we're level 3, so it's not the biggest of deals. And he has to come up with another play, or it might be big trouble from just taking, like, one to the face. Yeah, that's not enough to kill it, very fortunately for me. Unfortunately, I didn't draw Tarsus. I'm going to give Tarsus a huge game. But I should have probably considered playing Bright Tusk Sower and then overwriting with the level 2 Bright Tusk Sower. But I'd rather have a guy that can come back multiple times and just kind of chump. Like, he has to deal with that guy eventually, because he is at a relatively low life total. This isn't anything to, like, scoff at. Still in that situation where if he draws a beta or a Forge Plate, I'm in trouble. Thankfully, Forge Plate won. 1 out of his 3 Forge Plates. That's a really good jetpack. It's a very good jetpack. He's still taking a lot of damage this turn, so it's not particularly good for him, but I'm actually in an awkward situation where I think I'm going to actually discard something. I'm going to show off my Vengeful Spirit Tank, and I'm going to discard the Savant, because if I draw it in level 4 and have a level 1 Terra guy, it could potentially push through the extra points of damage. I drew level 3 Dark Shaper and 2 Tarsuses, so that seems like it's pretty favorable for me. Barring that he doesn't play a bunch of... Oh man, I forgot about Venom Fang. Vengeful Spirit was a terrible play for that reason. It's a really good turn by him. That's just sloppy on my part, but at least I will get to kill him with Venom Fang for free with it. I did potentially give him a chance to get back in the game by killing so many creatures with Venom Fangs. That's awful on my part. Looks like more than likely I'm just going to be triggering Dark Shaper Savant twice. So even Forge Plate or Beta isn't as scary anymore, because they're going to be like either 5-5 with armor 5 or a 10-8 with armor 4, which isn't that great. He's in very rough shape. I mean, he has to block Dark Shaper, and if he puts something in front of it that dies to 2 triggers, he just loses. And if he doesn't block, if he can't successfully block Fellwalker and Tarsus, he just loses. So I think I should have this game, but I definitely played very sloppy. It's very fortunate of me to not see his creatures till later, his Forge Guardian data till much later. So now here I'm just going to kill his Venom Fang with 2 triggers, and I get to attack for lethal. So that was a good game. I definitely learned a lot. I'm still kind of on training those with this deck, but I think that's a very eye-opening thing that I need to work on. Is just more lane placement is extremely important in this deck, and never trying to just be silly and give an advantage where there shouldn't be one at all. There's no reason to play that much this move. But yeah, so round one went well. Got a win. Hopefully I can keep it rolling, and hopefully I'll be able to put out more videos for you guys, some good, exciting tournament action. So I'll come back when game 2 starts.